Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is going to be the mid-April 2023 reading for the zodiac sign of Aquarius. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I'll provide you with any intuitive messages that I receive, as well as the meaning of the tarot cards. I do, however, recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising just to get a full picture of everything that's going on for you this month. And if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. When you subscribe, that helps me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post new content. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump in and get started. In column number 1, we're going to take a look at what's wrapping up and coming to a close, so last few weeks or month. Column number 2, we're going to take a general look at what's coming for the remainder of April. We're also going to do a money column, a love column, and in the 5th and final column, we're going to do a message from our future self or spirit guides. We'll also do 3 yes or no questions, a crystal of the month, and a healing note for you. But again, let's go ahead and get started in column number 1, which is what's wrapping up and coming to a close. We're going to pull a summary affirmation card to get us started off with here. Your card says, I am sealed. Generally speaking, I think this sealed card is a really good card to have, Aquarius. You always want to think about having a bubble around you, and everything in that bubble kind of just everything just bounces off the bubble. It only lets in the good things, it keeps out the bad things. There can be times where we get too sealed, where we get too closed off. But in general, I feel like you've done a good job of keeping out things that are not so good for you and just taking on things that are serving you really well. So I like this sealed energy that's coming through there. Let's go ahead and take a look though and see what other messages we've got. Okay, just gonna scoot everything into the frame here really quick. All right, perfect. Up first we have the King of Swords. The King of Swords is a very strategic card. It's very intentional. It's very long term. What I'm getting though is like, I feel like you were intentional in like the things that you blocked out. Like you knew somebody's energy wasn't going to be right, or you knew an event wasn't going to be good for you, and therefore you were very intentional in making sure you weren't involved or connected to that event. The next card that we have is the Wheel of Fortune. If you watched my readings before, you know I love the Wheel of Fortune. It's one of my favorite cards in the entire tarot deck. It's a card of good fortune. It's a card of good luck. Again, because you were sealed off, I feel like you had better luck. I know that's kind of an odd message, but I think for a lot of you that will really resonate. This is also a card of being at a turning point too. So maybe you've been like taking on somebody's energy or been involved with a bad situation, and finally you were like, enough's enough. I'm going to step away from this, and then it's almost like you're lucky you did because X, Y, and Z then happened. At the bottom here, we have the 9 of Pentacles, or the 9 of Coins. This is a card of luxury, self-sufficiency, financial gain. I do think that somehow you could have like dodged the financial bullet too, like potentially. Had you not blocked yourself off from this situation, it would have costed you money, time, energy. But I do, again, think it's like true dollars that we're talking about here. Or maybe you've been like constantly lending somebody money, and so like that drain of money is now gone. All around though, really like that energy. Again, you're like lucky that you did it, but it wasn't so much a luck thing because I think you knew the outcome if you had not stepped away there. Okay, taking a look at our clarifiers, King of Swords on top of the King of Swords. I love when this does this, when it happens. It's like the universe saying, I said what I meant. It's a very clear, direct message here, Aquarius. So again, it was very intentional. It was very strategic. You knew exactly what you were getting away from. And again, so glad you did. The next card that we have is the Ace of Cups. Anytime we have an Ace card, it's a card of newness. In this case, it's typically new baby, relationship, proposal, marriage. Maybe this is a turning point in a relationship too, a boundary set, an ending of a relationship. Perhaps a relationship will come out of this because we've removed ourselves from the situation that wasn't serving us very well. And then at the bottom here, we have the Hangman. The Hangman is a card of self-sacrifice. It can be really stagnant too. So I do feel like you were sacrificing yourself in this situation, or you were compromising, or you were the one giving. And now again, we sheltered ourselves from this situation going forward. So like to see that. Now let's take a look at our next column, Aquarius, which is anything related to what's coming for the next few weeks or months, so the remainder of April. We have the card, I am a child. I always kind of just laugh when I see this one because like sometimes I feel like that was like the insult, like you're a child. And that's not what this card is saying at all. But it's like the first thing that comes to mind just because that's the way like people used to try and insult each other. But this is about having a childlike candor. This is about having a childlike mind. When you're younger, anything is possible. Our hopes, our dreams, our aspirations are so big when we're younger. And we don't always understand the way things work, but it's that we knew we wanted to. Also, it's like the joy in the small things and having that imagination. So again, having a childlike kind of approach or mindset will be really beneficial going into these last few weeks of the month. But let's take a look here and see what messages we've got going on. Okay. First up, we have the Three of Coins. The Three of Coins or Three of Pentacles is a card of teamwork. It's a card of collaboration. It's really skill, quality, craftsmanship. I'm going to say this. Make sure you're putting your best foot forward, Aquarius. Put your best work out there. Put your best ideas out there. Give it all. Use your imagination. Again, tying back to that child card. Also, communication is going to be key here. So make sure your communication is very clear and constructive this month. The next card that we have is the Hangman. We talked about the Hangman. So the Hangman, in addition to a card of like self-sacrifice, it can be very stagnant. You see this person is hanging there by their foot. They're almost kind of stuck. This is a card of needing to get more information before you can move forward on something. So just keep that in mind. That actually ties really nicely into the communication card. But again, there's more information that we need before we can move forward. So make sure you're asking the right questions. Sure you have a good understanding before you move forward with something. Then at the bottom here, we have the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is a card of not very good relationship. This could be bully, theft, violence, abusive, some sort of toxic relationship. More than anything, I think there's just a communication breakdown in this situation. But it's like before we can move forward with this relationship, we need to figure out the communication. But let's clarify and see what other messages I can give you here. First, we have the Sun card. In terms of good card in the tarot deck, it doesn't really get much better than this. This is joy, happiness, success, all wonderful things with the Sun card. Again, make sure you're putting your best foot forward, your best work out here, your best communication out here. It's really going to play into your advantage. Also, there will be like true happiness if we can figure out this line of communication and we can figure out this missing information. It's totally an enabler. So whatever this communication is, we definitely need to find out this information and we need to be effectively communicating this month. The next card that we have is the Ace of Swords. Anytime we have an Ace card, it's a card of newness. With the case of Ace of Swords, this is new idea. This is new clarity. This can be new conflict though. So again, that's that relationship, that communication breakdown that we're having here. And again, we can't really go forward until we get the clarity, we get the information that we need, and we can kind of resolve this communication conflict. You know, conflict's kind of a sharp word, but that's what we have there. And then at the bottom here, we have the Fool card. The Fool card is the first card of the major arcana. This is fresh hope, taking chances, new paths, adventures, beginnings. I really do think this could be a new chapter for this relationship. Again, it's unlocking a lot of happiness, joy, success, but we have to figure out whatever the missing information here, whatever the communication issue is. Okay, now let's take a look at our third column, which is anything related to money. We're actually going to pull a card from this money deck, which apparently I forgot to take out, so let me grab one for you really quick. But this is a quick money message to start us off with. So it says, I make smart decisions with the money I am blessed with. So a nice money affirmation there for you. In this column, we're going to talk about anything related to money, job, career, finances, businesses you run, investments you have, whatever you associate with money here. Up first, we have the Fool card. We were just talking about the Fool card, the first card in the major arcana. This is fresh hope, taking chances, new paths, adventures, beginnings. It does seem like there's some sort of new start here for you. Perhaps a new project, a new job, but there's something new related to career and money coming through there. The next card that we have is the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is a card of keeping and maintaining boundaries. And I feel like with this new job, you can reset expectations. Like in your old world, you were drowning and working too many hours and it just wasn't what you wanted, or there wasn't good respect or good relationship. So it's like this is a fresh opportunity to reset boundaries and reset expectations. So I really like this. Same thing with like if it's just like a new project too. Again, you don't have to fall into the same cycle or issues that you had with the last project. At the bottom here we have the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is a card of apathy, a card of lack of fulfillment. I think this is what's motivating this new opportunity again, whether it's a new job, new project. What I want to see is if this feeling carries forward for you. Like you just weren't happy with what you were doing before. So let's clarify this and kind of see what messages come through here. Do like that clarifier, but let's start at the top here. First we have the World card. This is so perfect. So the Fool card is the first card in the Major Arcana. The World card is the last card in the Major Arcana. These go together like PB&J. Anytime there's an ending, there's a new beginning. That's one thing we're sure of in life. That always happens. When a door closes, another one opens. But the World card, again, the last card in the Major Arcana, it's completing a goal, completing a lesson, it's completion. So we've wrapped up something, new job or old job, project, and with the Fool card, we're beginning something new. The World card could also be a travel card, so there could be some work travel in there too. The next card that we have is the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is very active. This is again the new project, the new idea, the new opportunity. So this is just reiterating this newness that's coming in and the opportunity here for you to reset boundaries. The next card that we have is the Knight of Wands. When I see this card, Aquarius, this card like yells freedom at me and I love it. So I actually do think this will really be a really good shift for you. Again, that Four of Cups is like a card of lack of fulfillment, a card of apathy, not great feelings associated there. So this will definitely be better feelings there with the Knight of Wands. This is very free-spirited, very creative. Okay. Now let's take a look at our next column, which is anything related to love. So let's see here, a quick love message to start you off. It says, criticizing one another will only lead to further unhappiness. Love and accept each other as you are, and your relationship will magically transform. Okay, so let's see what love messages we've got here. Family, friends, relationship, children, marriage, whatever you associate with love here, Aquarius. First we have the Queen of Coins or the Queen of Pentacles. This is a good love card. If you're hoping to grow your family, this is a great card for you. It's also a very domestic card. So if you're wanting to enter into a relationship or you're wanting to stay in your relationship, in general, it's just a relationship card as well as a fertility card. So like that to kick us off. The next card that we have is the High Priestess. The High Priestess is a card of trusting your intuition, trusting your gut. It's very spiritual and very intuitive, but like if something doesn't feel right, we need to further kind of investigate or ask questions or have the conversation. So again, your intuition is very strong when we see that High Priestess card. At the bottom here, we have the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups can be a card of loss, regret, grief. I do feel sadly that someone may be passing away or we could be losing an animal. I don't know that relationships are ending here for you. Again, it feels more like passing, or potentially there was a recent passing that we're still grieving. If this is like coming through as like mourning or grieving. So I'm not sure again if somebody is passing or has recently passed, but I feel like this is us still processing emotions here. But let's go ahead and clarify and see what other messages we've got, Aquarius. At first we have the Empress. The Empress and the Queen of Coins tie together really nicely. The Empress is a card of creation, so again, being able to create whatever you would like. It is a card of pregnancy and fertility, so again, if you're hoping to grow your family, great card for you there. The next card that we have is the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is a card of self-imposed restrictions, so this is limiting yourself in a certain way. But again, if something doesn't feel right, we need to say something, we need to have the conversation. So it's like you can't just sit there with the blindfold on, you can't sit there and take no action. With the Eight of Swords, this is about cutting yourself free, and this is enabling yourself to take action. So again, if something doesn't feel right, you need to say something, you need to explore, you need to have the conversation there. At the bottom here, we have the Ace of Wands. Anytime we have an Ace card, it's a card of newness. This is like about creation. I am not quite, so I'm trying to think about how I want to say this here. I feel like, again, we're still grieving. That's the message I have here. It's like we are going through the memorial or still processing the feelings. That's the best I can give you here, Aquarius, in terms of messages. So it does seem like there's some more healing, some more process of feelings that's happening there. Okay, now let's move on to our fifth and final column, which is a message from our future self. If I don't drop all these cards. Our fifth column is a message from our future self or spirit guide. So let's take a look here. We have the card, I Feel Desired. Like this card, this is good energy. This is the card of feeling wanted, and it's such a good feeling for all of us. Feeling desired. Again, I feel like this relationship looks really strong here. I think you are being desired for this new role. I like this. I like this energy. I like how it carries through with this reading, but let's see what messages we've got in this final column here. Okay, first up we have the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is a card of like Prince or Princess Charming. This is very romantic, very proposal-like, very marriage-like. Again, Prince or Princess Charming. So I feel like this relationship is very passionate and very desirable, and you feel desired and you feel wanted. So really strong relationship here. Not surprised to see that because I feel like we were seeing that in our love column a little bit, poking through there too. The next card that we have is the Three of Swords. And the Three of Swords is a card of healing that needs to happen. I feel like for some of you, I do think this feeling of being wanted or this feeling of being desired is maybe out of the normal for you. Maybe there's been past bad relationships, so this is new, and it's almost like figuring out how to feel this feeling of being loved and being wanted. We're going to clarify that a little bit, but there could be some healing that needs to happen there because those not so good relationships can really leave their imprint and leave their impact. At the bottom here we have the Six of Coins or the Six of Pentacles. This is like nostalgic, this is reflection. Again, there's things that have happened in the past that maybe make this feeling of being wanted or desired feel so strange or feel so foreign or feel even hard to accept. Okay, first up for clarifiers, we have the Magician. The Magician is about turning visions into reality. It's like this is the relationship you've wanted. This is the relationship you've craved. Again, with the Knight of Cups, this is like Prince or Princess Charming. It's so perfect. So again, this is the vision, the reality that you wanted here. On top of our Three of Swords, we have the Lover's card. And I'm not surprised to see this because, again, this is such a deep love, a passionate love. It's strength together. It's partnership. It's so authentic. But again, it's different than what you've experienced in the past. So some healing that needs to happen there to let these feelings fully come through. And at the bottom here, we have the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is a card... Again, this comes through as like stressed or exhausted, but it's just, it feels different. It feels weird. Sadly, I think some of you don't even like feel worthy. But we need to learn to be loved the way we should be loved. But again, very desired, very nice, strong relationship here. So healing will come in time with all that love that you're getting, Aquarius. Okay, at this point, I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask 3 yes or no questions. We're going to take a look at our Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck. If you don't have 3 questions in mind, you can pause the video and think of them. But for question number 1, we have the 7 of Diamonds. This is number 38 card. That's going to be a yes. Question number 2 is the 4 of Diamonds. This is number 27 card. That's going to be a yes. And question number 3, we have the Jack of the Jack of Clubs. This is number 45 card. That's going to be a yes. So yeses across the board there for you, Aquarius. If you watched your video earlier this month, we did pull a card from our Healing Stones deck, which is a crystal to keep with you through the month of April. You have Heliotrope this month, which is good for differentiation, it's protection, helps fend off any of those spiritual and emotional assaults, and also helps set clear boundaries. We were talking quite a bit about boundaries earlier. And then last but not least, we're going to pull a card from our Healing Note deck because we can all always use more healing. It says, what we have once enjoyed, we can never lose. All that we love becomes deeply part of us. Thank you so much, Aquarius, for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this video resonates with you. Again, subscriptions help me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post new content. Also, I did include my Venmo in the comments box if you'd like to make a donation. Thank you so much, Aquarius, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your April.